Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I've got a name, I've got a name. Like the singing bird or the croaking toad, I've got a name, I've got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did, but I'm living the dream that he kept hid. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like the north wind whistling down the road, I've got a song, I've got a song. Like the whippoorwill and the baby's cry, I've got a song, I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. If it gets me nowhere, I'll get there proud. Moving me down the highway, driving me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Gonna go there free, like the fool I am and I'll always be. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. They can change their minds, but they can't change me. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. Oh, I know I could share it if you want me to. You going my way, I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Moving down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Happy Sunday. I want to welcome you all here. I'm Reverend Edith Washington Woods, Senior Minister here at Unity of Gaithersburg. And I want to say hello out there to all of you love streaming people. Hi, how y'all doing? I'll be on the chat in a minute to greet you guys, but welcome. And anybody who would like to take their phone out and either get on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, and welcome those who are here, because we're an expanded way of being in the world today. Isn't that wonderful? Yes. So let us take a moment to get grounded and have our opening prayer. I'm going to invite you to join me in closing your eyes and to become as still as you possibly can, entering into the stillness of this moment. I invite you to take a gentle breath in, a conscious breath, breathing in and out, very easily and effortlessly, bringing our attention more to the now by breathing. For the breath is our life force. So let's breathe together. Breathe and breathe out. And in this moment of our sacred breath. We join together. We join our hearts and our minds in this shared oneness. And in this moment of awakening our consciousness, we pray from this space. Spirit, God of our own understanding, we're here. We are here to meet and greet our good. May each of us discover ways to have the willingness to adjust in our thinking, to adjust in our being, to adjust in the way we show up in the world. May we do it with love, kindness, generosity, and a willingness to accept all. For we are who we've been waiting for. Let us celebrate it in this prayer. In this moment, we are being the change. And we let it, we allow it, we invite it in. And now we just choose to lovingly release it. In the name and the nature of the spiritual presence that is within us all. And so it is. Amen. And our core value for today is our youth, adult, and family spiritual education. That's our core value for today. And I'm going to invite you to recite it with me. It is on the screen. Let's say it together. We are dedicated to learning and practicing unity and new thought spiritual principles through our youth, adult, and family programs and events. We honor and encourage the of all. Yes. We encourage the innate ability and creativity that we have. That when we're able to be creative, we're able to shine in those special ways that we were created to be. That's kind of how the pick-up parties got started. People just had some divine idea, and they threw it out there, and other people wanted to join in that idea. This is what youth, adult, and family spiritual education is about. How do we teach one? How do we reach one and teach one? I'm encouraging you all to jump in, be creative, and let's have fun together. And now we have our song, You and Me.
We're going to jump right into this. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, and God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, and God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just want to shout. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just want to shout. Ooh, one life living as you and me, one love shining as you and me, one love living as you and me, 'cause God is all there is.
Jump right into it. Thank you, the two J's. And good morning, everyone. My name is Sharon, and I'm here with some transformational opportunities. The first of which is to celebrate our dear Beth, our youth and family director. Today is her last day here, although her tenure doesn't end until the end of the month on the 30th. There is a box in the back to write your love blessing on. You can also send it, I believe the link is on the screen. And we thank you for celebrating our Beth. Our book study is coming up, being led again by Carol Plummer. And this book is by Myrtle Fillmore, How to Let God Help You. How to let God, yes, I said that right. It will actually be in person here at Unity, starting September 11th, right after service. Please register online if you can, and please join her. Your Caring Cottage has 2 events this month, the first of which is a financial drive of only $15, which will fill a backpack for a child.
the transformation happens. And think about a time when you needed to make a change and what that felt like in the moment that you thought the thought. Perhaps a feeling of uneasiness, and yet my guess is that you did what you needed to do. You had the willingness to adjust. So in these sacred moments of contemplation, we consider adjusting moment by moment. You're adjusting now, adjusting your body to be more comfortable in your seat. Adjustment happens easily and effortlessly. And so in these moments of silence ahead, I invite you to say these words to yourself. I am willing to be transformed. I am willing to be transformed. I am willing to be transformed. In the silence, we join our hearts together and go deeper. In the silence, we are divinely connecting with Source, God the Good, Omniscience. And we say, I am willing to be transformed. In the silence, we go deeper together. I am. I am willing. I am willing to be transformed. May these words sit with you deeply inside. I am willing to be transformed. And in this sacred moment of shared consciousness, we know this for everyone here in the sanctuary and in the inner sanctuary within our body, that each of us has the willingness to adjust and be transformed. In this moment, we see this also for the world, that we come together and know love on the deepest way that we can possibly know love for ourselves and for another. And as we gently bring ourselves back to the space and time, may we know these words to be true. I am willing to be transformed. In this moment, we are transformed. And so it is. And so we let it be us. Amen. Ashe. And namaste.
If I could reach the stars, pull one down for you, I'd shine it on my heart so you could see the truth, that this love I have inside is everything it seems, but for now I find it's only in my dreams that I can change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. Oh baby, if I could change the world. If I could be king, even for a day, I'd have you as my queen. I'd have it no other way, and our love would rule in this kingdom we have made. Till then I'd be a fool, wishing for the day that I can change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. Oh baby, if I could change the world.
Let's give them another hand, our beautiful house band. So I brought my phone up here so I can see what's happening on Facebook and YouTube Live. I'm kind of going back and forth between the two. Hello, everybody out there. I hope you guys are able to see now. I know the YouTube folks were kind of wondering, could they see or hear or something? So I think it's all taken care of now. Many of us think that the most challenging, the most challenging to adjust, for us to adjust in new ways of living and being, especially in these times, right? But actually, we are adjusting all of the time. We are often unconscious of these adjustments, right? Like I just noticed someone adjusting in their seat. Yeah? When you get ready to meditate, you wiggle a little, right? And then you wonder, do you really have to close your eyes? And we're adjusting all of the time. Now, I want you to take a moment to think about last night. You got in a bed, and you made some decision that you were going to sleep in a certain way. And often we either sleep on our side, or on our back, or on our stomach. So raise your hand if you are a side sleeper. Okay. What about a back sleeper? Raise your hand. We got some back sleepers here. And what about those who sleep on their stomach? Yeah. And some of us turn different ways throughout the night, right? Because I used to think that I slept one way, and then I discovered I actually like sleeping the other way. And throughout the night, we're making these decisions, right? We're going from the side to the back to the stomach, or whichever way, combination of the two. Our arm goes out, goes back in, right? We wiggle our fingers. Sometimes we move our feet together to get warm. I don't know, maybe just me. Well, and some of us sleep with socks on, and then we take them off with our toes. Yeah, I see some folks nodding. I do that. No one else does that in my household. I'm just saying, not trying to tell on anybody, but I sleep best with socks on. And then when they get hot or itchy or something, I take the big toe and off they come. And then I have to go finding them when I wake up. And then I'll forget. And when we wash the sheets, there's the socks. Oh, there's those socks. I couldn't find them. And yeah. So we are adjusting all of the time. We do that, however, in very subconscious ways when we're willing to adjust our position. We might want to ask ourselves, am I willing to adjust? But what does that mean? What does those 5 words mean? Am I willing to adjust? Well, they're very powerful. They have significant meaning because they involve movement. They involve taking action. They involve doing something different, even if it's turning on the other side when we're sleeping. There are 3 ways to explore the willingness to adjust, and they are to be open, be teachable, and to take action. Be open, be teachable, and to take action. The first way is having the willingness to adjust is by being open. Let's go back to our sleep pattern. We agreed that we have some certain way that we know that we go to sleep one way or the other, right? Whether it's on our belly or whether it's on our side or on our back. And when we do this, we're tapping into something that's very familiar, something that we've done before, time and time again, year after decade after decade. We think that it could be that we are unconscious, however, when we're moving, when we're sleeping. But it actually involves the subconscious mind. Now, there are 3 types of minds that we're talking about and that we could be talking about, and that is the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious. But I'm going to talk about today the subconscious mind. And in the Revealing Word, our co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, he says this about subconscious mind. It is the memory mind. Memory crystallized into function and form. It is the home of our habits, the storehouse of our past thoughts and experiences. We are not conscious of what goes on in these processes, but divine intelligence works perfectly in all of them. So when we are sleeping, there is the subconscious mind that is flourishing. There is this storehouse of ideas, of beings, and things that we've done in the past that we then do again. You know, the arm, right? I was sleeping the other day and out with my arm, and I went, what's going on? I don't want my arm out. Those mosquitoes might bite me. So I grabbed it back in. I woke up again 2 hours later, the other arm was out. I said, no, the mosquitoes might eat me. So I have a blankie, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I have this really cushiony little blanket that I call my blankie, and it sleeps with me every night. And when my arm goes out, it's not in the blankie, and it's not keeping me, protected from those doggone mosquitoes that come out of the creek behind my house. Yeah, yes, I sleep with mosquitoes, whatever. But when we're looking at the subconscious mind, we know and I can understand now that it allows us to have adjustments. The adjustment that we're seeking when we're attempting to be more comfortable in our sleep. The second way for us to explore the willingness to adjust involves us having the ability to remain teachable. I had a friend that had told me one time, "Are you teachable?" And I thought, oh, what a horrible thing to say. But I wasn't. I was closed-minded. I wanted it my way. I only wanted to see it in the way that I saw it. I had to become teachable. I met a Unity Truth student a while ago, and I invited her to take a course that I was preparing to teach. And she says to me, "Oh, I have taken many Unity courses. I understand the principles. I understand the truth." Well, she decided to take the course. And this was a course she had taken before. When it was completed, she said to me, "Wow, I learned some things that I didn't know before. How did those words jump off the page? I feel like I'm getting more in touch with myself." So I have a question for you. Think about a time when you had a book, some book that you liked a lot, and you read it a second or third time. You got the book? Yes? And I want you to consider what you learned. Like, what did that second time reading the book, what did you learn? I want you to think about it for a second, and someone here in the sanctuary, let us know what you learned. And those of you on YouTube Live and Facebook Live, please put it in the chat. What did you learn when you read it again? Anybody? Raise your hand. Okay. What you learned, Jerry?
I've read The Power of Now 4 times. First time I attempted to read it,
Can you take her to mic? Because then that way we'll be able to hear you a little more clearly. Thank you.
I read The Power of Now 4 times. The first time I got to about the middle of the second chapter and I put it down, it was completely foreign to me. I couldn't get my mind around it. Second time I read it things started to resonate, which was probably a couple years later. And I got a little bit more out of it. The third time I read it, I felt like I completely got and understood everything that Eckhart Tolle was saying. I didn't. The fourth time I read it was probably recently, and I got some new perspective. I get new perspective actually every time I read that book. So that's my experience, and it has to do with being attracted to something that your own growth has brought you to.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Sure.
See, that's what I'm talking about. When we have the willingness to adjust, we're willing to be teachable. We're willing to learn in ways that we didn't learn like yesterday or a year ago. And this, what I've been learning about this spiritual community, Unity of Gaithersburg, is this is a teaching ministry. It resonates with me because I am a teaching minister. When I get up here on Sundays, I am teaching you something that you can take into your life, perhaps, so that you can be transformed. This is a movement that is, when we talk about the fifth basic unity principle, it is about doing it. It is about being teachable. Now, we have classes that will be continuous because there are a number of us who are teaching. And Carol's going to be starting a class mid-September, I think it is. And then I'm going to be doing something, and Akoswa's going to be doing something, and Jane's going to be teaching. We want to offer you the opportunity to be teachable. So, if you want to have something different show up in your life, you have to do something different. And that brings us to, I was thinking about a computer keyboard. Or an old typewriter. Some of you remember those, and your fingers would get kind of down in between the cracks or the spaces or whatever. And yeah, you know what I mean. And in order for us to advance to the next line, we had to strike the return key with our pinky finger. Yep, remember that? But I know some of you do like this, so you find it with whatever digits you want to use. And in order to advance to the next line or paragraph, we must strike the return key. I find it interesting that we call it the return key, but because if you look on like our computers now, it doesn't say return. It says enter. E-N-T-E-R, enter. So when we look at the return key, we're returning to an old familiar pattern, just like in our lives, just like when we're sleeping. We're returning to that position that it felt good to sleep on our back or sleep on our stomach or sleep on our side. So we hit the return key to return back to that moment. We're seeking to be comfortable in our own skin. But when we're looking at the return key is actually coming back to the left side of the page, but not to the left side of the same line. It advances to the next line, a new line, a new way of being. So in having the willingness to adjust, then we're able to adjust in a way that gives us a new way of being. Am I willing to adjust? Are you willing to adjust? Are you willing to see something differently? Well, our spiritual power for this month of August, is will. And that is the ability to make a decision, to change, to shift, to adjust. And the disciple associated with the spiritual power of will is Matthew. And Matthew represents the decision-making part of the brain. The color is silver or gray, which I'm representing. And the location is the center of our brain. Like, take our brain, Go down, center, we're it. Now, in the Revealing Word, our book of metaphysical terms by co-founder Charles Fillmore, he said this about will. Now, I've changed some of the pronouns to be more gender fluid, and this is what he says about will. That if a person experiences error and inharmony, they bring it upon themselves by their failure to harmonize their thoughts, words, and actions with divine law. So when we're making these adjustments in our body, if you could consider that our body is the temple of the living God, that our body is this living sanctuary of beingness because we are children of that Most High. We are created in the image and likeness of God. So therefore, we must have a temple we live in. So when we make adjustments, perhaps the adjustments are moving us in alignment with Spirit, in alignment with that which is good for us and good for others. Henry Ford said, "Think you can, think you can't, you are right." Think you can, think you can't, you're right. So either way we want to see it, we see with our thoughts, and then they get outpictured into manifestation. What do we want to think? What do we want to be? How do we want to show up in this world? Each of us make an impact, whether we think we can or we think we can't. Are you willing to adjust by hitting the return key and starting newly in the next line, the next chapter, the next day? As long as we think we can't, we won't. If we consider we can, we will. Like with the picker parties. Some divine idea. Who would have thought that they could actually be not only be good, but be successful. Not only be good and successful, but to bring finances to the church. I think the last count I heard was about $6,200, right? $6,700 so far with the picker parties, and we're getting together and having fun. What? When we think we can, we will. In the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 13, it states, "For it is God who is at work in you, enabling you both to will and to work for God's pleasure." God, that universal divine idea, not necessarily a man up in the sky. I mean, if you want to believe that, that's fine. But I looked when I was in the plane and I did not see God. Perhaps it's as close as our heart. And our heart beats throughout our whole body. Perhaps it flows through all there is, if we could consider that. So to metaphysically interpret this Bible verse, it says, we already have it. It is already in you. The ability to adjust and transform is already alive in you. You do it every day. When you go to bed, when you get up, when you decide what to wear, when you take that off and decide something else. You're adjusting. For in these moments of adjustment, we're allowing the divine to live and flourish and have some juicy fun. Don't you want to live like that? Yeah. Now, Zig Ziglar said this. He said, "As you head toward your goals, be prepared to make some slight adjustments to your course. You don't change your decision to go, you do change your direction to get there." How powerful is that? You may have some end result, something that you want to accomplish, but sometimes we adjust in the ways we get there. The important thing is that we stay on the course or shift the course or become willing to have the course shift us. We have to be willing to adjust. Willingness allows us the opportunity to adjust with ease and grace. Adjust by being open. Adjust. I just adjusted. Okay. I'll start over. Adjust by being open. Adjust by being teachable. Adjust by taking action. Take action. So I want to have us say these things together, and I'll say them. I'll say the 3 things that we do to assist us in having the willingness to adjust, and then I'll offer you to say it with me. I'll say it one time. Be open. Be teachable. Take action. Together? Be open. Be teachable. Take action. Again? Be open. Be teachable. Take action. Again, 3 times our charm. Be open. Be teachable. Take action. Yes. And our affirmation will assist us with being there and getting there today. Here it goes. I am willing to adjust throughout each day. Let's say it together. I am willing to adjust throughout each day. So let's just take that in for a moment. I invite you to breathe with me. Breathe in and gently breathe out. Adjusting. Adjust your shoulders. Twiggle your little butt in the chair, however small or large it is. Move your head around. Adjust, 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 adjust. Knowing that we are the temple of the living God, and we adjust because we can. And if your eyes are closed like mine, open them and let's say this affirmation again, because our heart depends on it. Together. I am willing to adjust throughout each day. And so it is. And so it's up to each of us. Namaste and amen.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. It's gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the streets without enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending that they're need to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a bottle broken top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself, then make a change. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize there are some with no home, not a nickel to loan. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself, then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself, then make a change. Na 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 na.
And so, let's take action. Let's financially support Unity of Gaithersburg, Rev Edith, our band, the electricity. There's a couple of ways to do that. We have our love offering box in the back, where you can text to the number on the screen, or you can email us. But let's take action. And together, let's all say our love offering blessing. Divine love, I am, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am so grateful. And I believe our children are about to come in.
I am walking in the light. I am walking in the light. I am walking in the light. We are 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 walking in the light.
Good morning. How are we? Yay! Okay, so can you start with I'm the light of the world? Yeah. But can you stand up here and face everyone?
I'm the light of the chicken.
Say, I'm the light of the world.
I am
The light.
the world.
Yes! Now can you say,
You are the light of the world. You live as the light.
now together? We are the light of the world. We live as the light. Woo.
We also got something for Miss Beth.
Well, let's open it for her first.
And also, we, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and Unity of Gaithersburg, we have a card for you, and we want to just really love and appreciate your years of service. You have been the divine light that you are. Thank you so much for blessing us and blessing our youth and family ministry.
Thank you.
All right? And we have a cake out there for you if you like cake. You know, some of us got to eat it. And we just want to celebrate you. Yes? Let's give thanks one more time.
And I love you, I bless you, and I appreciate you, and I behold the light that you all are. Thank you so much.
Yes. And let's give it back to her. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the light as you. Yes. All right. Yes. Let's stand and sing the peace song together.
Let there
Yes. And as we go through our week, may we make adjustments throughout our day. Wiggle when you want to wiggle, dance when you want to dance, and have a good time. Have a wonderful week, my friends.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, bright